Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we have special guest, it's Hayden Bleechmore.
Hello! Special guest, that's a lovely term. Love that.
Well, thank you for being on. It's
No worries.
pleasure to have you here. Which movie have you chosen for us this week?
We watched Zoolander. One.
Yeah, the good one.
I forgot there was a
Yeah.
sequel when I started watching it.
I saw the sequel in the movies and I was so disappointed. That might
Yeah.
be the most disappointed I've been in the movies.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's not a good film.
No.
It's like,
It's horrible. Well, the first one, it's
First
pretty
one-
good. I don't know if because you guys just watched it then, right?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
it last night,
Yeah.
so because it's the morning for us right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure. It's
yeah.
like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
for you guys. Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, I watched it a couple of nights ago, so it's already fading fast.
I finished watching it maybe 40 minutes ago, and but the thing is, Zoolander's locked in my head forever. I watched that movie. I've
Yeah.
watched this movie a million times.
Yeah, I've watched it so much as well that I could probably have gotten away with not watching it for this podcast and been fine. Like,
I've seen it a lot of times, but I haven't watched it in maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I definitely remembered it all, but I wouldn't have trusted myself to go off not watching it. You know what I mean?
So how come
Yeah.
you watched this film so much? It's
I don't
it's
know.
so weird. Though.
I know. Me and my sister just like became obsessed with it for whatever reason, and just like I don't know. Every time we'd be like in the school holidays or something, we'd be bored at home, be like, "Oh, we can watch Zoolander again for the 50th time." We'd be like, "All right, sick," and it's a very rewatchable movie. It's pretty funny.
It's like
No,
a
it really
safe
is.
comedy movie way, like, one that I always find myself knowing the jokes as they're happening.
Yeah, but even then, like I don't know. I still like the jokes. I don't
Yeah.
know. They're timeless. They're timeless jokes.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, Ben Stiller going when he's coughing up the black lung. That's funny.
And
It'll always be
literally every time I hear "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go," I just think, I guess people die in freak gasoline-fired accidents all the time. Like every time, it plays
Yeah.
it plays at work over the radio sometimes, and I just think of that, like no matter what.
I watched this film once as a teenager. Didn't like it. Found it-
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember how I watched it. I think on TV, so with ad breaks and probably
That adds
not
to
paying
it, I think.
attention. And also, this fell victim of the person who I was with really liked the film thing, where I'm then like, well, I'm immediately, I've got my shackles up. I'm gonna be
Right.
ultra critical.
Yeah, how good could it be?
And I found it really grating. Way more so than watching it this time. Actually, I did enjoy myself watching it. I was also watching it now I watched it with my partner, and he loves this film, so that was nice. I had sort of positive energy
Good.
while
good.
watching it, and I still didn't find it that funny, but it
What?
wasn't like painful to.
What do you
painful
mean?
to
Where we
watch.
draw the line.
What are you
I thought I'd
saying?
get that out there.
You didn't.
Some-
That's crazy to me.
Bits of it were really
It's
funny.
so
Yeah,
funny!
but there was a lot of jokes that I felt were not great or didn't land particularly well for me.
Name one. I don't think you can do it.
Okay, so like when he's dressed up in the different costumes working in the mines.
Oh yeah.
The
What?
whole like
Not a fan of him throwing a pickaxe at a guy or
Yeah.
jumping out and scaring his dad, who was probably
Yeah.
more scared because it's John Voight and
Yeah.
he's a massive racist.
Yeah, the sort of
What's
safe
going-
blackface joke.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Well, yeah, I did watch that. I'm like, because it's not.
It's not blackface.
Well, it's
No,
just- well,
that
I
bit
guess it
isn't.
is, 'cause-
There's a bit later on where I'm still not too sure.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
they
there's two-
definitely like walk
Yeah.
towards blackface and then are like they dip their toe in.
There's two brushes with blackface,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think I don't know. As a white person, I think it's fine. So- if the listeners don't know the scene, he's in a coal mine and completely covers himself in soot so he can jump out of the darkness and scare his dad.
Yep.
So it's not a racial thing.
No. That,
Yeah, not that time.
No.
No, not that time. No.
But the next
Other
time
times
they
it
do
did.
it, they use just different actors. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, it's weird because-
yeah.
The characters in the movie do blackface, but the actors playing them do not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one's a bit more. A bit like.
It's much more of a joke about like, oh, he's because he's so thick, but suddenly he's got this hidden talent of being really, really good at special effects makeup.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then they do have this sort of the bit where it's, I guess, more problematic because that's just kind of a funny joke because there's no way that someone that thick would be able to make someone look like a totally different person, literally a different actor that they've dubbed his voice onto. But then they wipe their makeup off, but they still have all the black makeup around the edge of his face, and that's a bit
then
like
they start acting like monkeys, and it was like
yeah.
that bit was bad. That was not good.
Again,
so
not the only.
Yeah, so I've given you a couple of examples. Shall we maybe touch on the plot a little bit?
Oh yeah, probably.
Nah.
Oh yeah. If you thought Helena didn't like this, then
So I can't stand Ben Stiller. you know those actors where you're like, I just don't like them. I cannot get on with them. I cannot watch films with them in. Well, mine are Ben Stiller and the guy that played Mugatu in this.
Will Ferrell.
What? You don't like Will Ferrell?
No,
I don't like Will Ferrell.
What is going on?
Can't
with
enjoy
you
films
people?
either.
What is happening?
I don't know why I record with these guys either.
I will say, I did actually enjoy the film despite them.
Great. Oh,
Not
that's
because of them. Despite them.
in spite of them, sure. I can understand Ben Stiller. I can understand both of them, really. I don't know, I feel
They're
like Ben
quite hard
Stiller's
work if you're not on board with their kind of comedy.
Yeah. They're too silly.
Yeah, it's silly, but also quite rude. And I'm like, just sitting there like, fucking behave, you dickhead.
Wait, that's a problem with the character, I think. Not the actors
Yeah, but they play
them.
the same character in everything they do, so it's kind of, I have a problem
They play
with...
rude characters, so I don't like the actors.
It's not that.
Okay, that's it for me, but for maybe Mike has a different...
I don't know, I just don't go. I think Ben Stiller's dad is way funnier than Ben Stiller is.
Yeah, it took me
Oh,
so
yeah,
long to
everything
realize
is
that's his
in.
dad. Like, honestly.
Who's his dad?
His manager.
Oh,
So Jerry Stiller plays Maury.
nice.
Maury Ballstein.
Infinitely funnier than Ben Stiller.
I should have put that together, actually. I just sort of didn't realize they were related. I kind of assume that everyone has a stage name now and that no one's actually called what they are called.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you why I don't like them. The whole I'm loud so it's funny, I think is what gets on my nerves. Which is less Ben Stiller and more the other guy, but it's
more Will Ferrell, I think.
Shouting, so it's funny.
Sorry, should we go through the plot? I felt like
Give it a hot go.
Do you want me to go? Do you want me to do it? I'll blast through it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go. Full speed.
So the Malaysian Prime Minister is banning child labor. And Mugatu is all this sort of higher up, this what would you call, like a hidden council of textile sort of, I don't know,
like the
barons.
fashion industry.
They task Mugatu with trying to assassinate the Malaysian Prime Minister, and the way he does that is he brainwashes Ben Stiller's character Zoolander, and then he does that, and then that's the plot.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what else happens. I'm like, that's it. Yeah.
Because Zoolander's like an aging model whose time he's at the end of his prime. There's this new so hot now, Hansel, played by Owen Wilson, has come in and is sort of ready to swoop in and take his place.
This like really young model, but like very clearly the same age.
Also, I guess it's obvious as well, but Owen Wilson's not hot.
Oh, I disagree.
He's got a weird nose.
That's fine. That's interesting. Boring people aren't actually hot. That's the thing. Ben Stiller, well, he's not really that attractive. He's just like a normal looking guy. Who's a hot person that's boring? Fabio, all right? He's in this movie. Fabio, classically handsome, apparently. Doesn't do anything for me. All right, Fabio can get lost as far as I am concerned. Give me Owen Wilson over Fabio every day of the week.
Fabio's pretty hot.
I mean, he is obviously.
He was. I'm getting lots of pictures of him now, and
this film was 20 years ago now.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He's 61 now, and he looks great for 61. But personally, that's a bit old for me. But yeah, Owen Wilson I've never thought he was attractive. I guess, has he had his nose broken? Like, was he a boxer?
I think so, yeah.
Fighting, because it's very bulbous at the top.
Yeah, I think it was when he was younger, it was broken.
Owen Wilson as a boxer is such a wild thought.
You thought he was a boxer?
Oh no, I just thought he'd been punched in the face.
Yeah, probably has been.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was like a good boxer.
No, that's fair. But yeah, no, this Zoolander is such a weird film. When you actually like sit down to watch it and like write notes and stuff about it,
I think
It's
it's
such
quite
a bizarre
nice
film.
that they were like, yeah, we're gonna do like take the piss out of the fashion and model industry, but with two blokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it could have, if it had been about women, it could have been like it would have been, I think, pretty
It
unbearable
would have
and
been
misogynistic.
weird.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, they couldn't really be done. I see what you mean.
And
Yeah.
it was nice to have like the clever, or not even like massively clever, just not
Just a
thick as pig
journalist.
shit reporter that was
Yeah.
sort of piecing it together.
Yeah, the one that can read minds.
And I like that the bad guy, like obviously Mugatu's not even really a bad guy. He's just sort of being
he's a bad
pressured. I
guy.
mean, no, he's a bad.
He's a
Yeah,
bad
he's
guy.
bad, but he's not the brains of the operation. It's very
No.
much that other girl with the fringe.
Oh, I don't think she's the brains. I thought
No?
the
She's
way
just
I
the
read it was
enforcer.
that. Yeah, I think she's the enforcer. Mugatu's kind of just like the middleman, and then the brains of the.
Oh yeah, the model
The
group.
council of fashion people who you never see again. By the
No,
way,
no, they only appear
you
at the
see when
beginning.
the film opens with them telling Mugatu to assassinate Prime Minister, and then they just never come back.
Are they in the second one? Did
I
we
Why?
can't remember.
completely drop
Yeah.
it? They should- shouldn't
One
have
person
made
I was sort of excited to see briefly was Alexander Skarsgård, because he is really
Who's
hot.
that?
So he's the blonde model that that isn't
yeah.
Hansel, the one that's like
Oh,
that
fuck,
he lives
it is
with.
as well. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't realise that was him.
What's his? I'm trying to think of his
The-
character name.
The characters.
Mikus.
Mikus. Yeah, it's Mikus.
The characters who
Ruth to Brent.
all die.
Funny bit.
Yeah, and they all die horribly.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Because
that
they're all.
actually
What's-
really tickled me at the end was jumping right to the end when he opens up he's got that fountain
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
his institute, and it's
Yeah.
all of them. Yeah,
Because they
fighting
all
with
die because
petrol.
he's lost he didn't win the 4th year in a row for male model of the year. It went to Hansel instead, and so he's gone out with his friends, and as they're all having fun washing the car, throwing water on each other, he sees someone like throwing a magazine of him in the bin, walks over and sees that they've all started throwing gasoline in the air instead. They're covering each other in petrol.
Yeah, they're using the petrol
Yeah.
pumps to like spray each other with petrol.
Modified, yeah.
All while Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham is playing, and then he sees one of them light a cigarette, and they're gone.
Yeah, they die horribly.
Which is because that's right at the beginning of the
It's
film,
like one of the earliest.
and there's no like fallout to it. There's no like, oh, these 4 people burnt themselves to death. Yeah, we just forget about that.
Yeah,
and move on.
well, he's sort of
Well, they
he's
go to
sort
his-
of
they go
almost
to the
too dumb to
funeral.
grieve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
he
that's
does.
it. He didn't quite.
He like doesn't even take down their beds. Like
No,
he still
no.
sleeps in his bed in the bunk, like because they've got 2 bunk beds with their names on.
Yeah.
I do like how they all have like a shared apartment as well. You imagine
Isn't
they
that
make a
cute?
fuckload of money.
No, they're like the world's best male models. Share a tiny. Admittedly, it's in like LA, so that
It
might
wasn't
be
that
what they can
tiny, but it was a
afford.
bit weird that it was, I guess, a 1-bedroom. But yeah, it does. This film does do the nice thing for me, where it explains pretty much the entire plot at the beginning, so you really don't need to like focus at all.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah, no.
That being said, though, a lot of movies around this era, and probably still now, especially like American movies, I feel, is like they really over-explain the jokes, whereas this movie doesn't do that really at all.
No,
Like
it
there's the
is simple.
scene when after the funeral, Ben Stiller's like, I can't remember the exact line, but he's like, he calls it, instead of a eulogy, he calls it a yagoogly.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not a very good yagoogleizer. But they don't say, like,
Yeah,
I
she
feel
could
like
have been
if
like,
it's-
"You mean eulogize?"
you
Like,
mean eulogy? Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do
Yeah.
that. You just have to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I watched that, didn't get it. I'm like, oh, these guys
Yeah.
are speaking nonsense. And then, when I was like, rewatched it, I don't know, I was like a teenager. I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Eulogy. And that's
Like
rewarding.
just all the slight dumb jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there is.
Yeah.
That is definitely like a benefit
Yeah.
for this film. One thing that is a bit weird is the cameos. Shall we touch on
Oh,
that?
I
The
really like how many
cameos are
cameos there are.
insane.
It's ridiculous.
Trump is in this as well.
He's in there like early on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I must have missed that bit.
You
How
missed
did you
oh, he's in
miss
there.
that?
He's at the fashion show at the very
Oh, at
start
the
of
beginning,
film.
yeah.
And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing
I
all the
remember
vox
now.
pops,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Without Derek Zoolander, male modeling wouldn't be what it is today." And it's then that guy became the president of the United States.
So he'll
Absolutely baffling.
as we have
Mm.
seen, he will take money literally anywhere he can get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
absolutely.
even if it involves crimes.
Yeah, I picked up on a few more other this time as well. Like, for some reason, I hadn't quite noticed that Paris Hilton was in it, even though it's very obvious.
Oh, she's the one that I picked up on, because there were definitely some that I think are like much more
Yeah.
famous in
Yeah.
the States
America,
than.
yeah.
I do like the the bit where he's being brainwashed, and it's like, don't be distracted by these beautiful celebrities, and it's like Fred Durst and a few other people.
Yeah.
Gary
then-
Shandling.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, when at the end, when he is being distracted by them, they're in the exact pose that they
Yeah,
were in
that
the
is
video.
nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I picked up on Natalie Portman.
yeah,
Oh yeah, now the problems. in it, talking
And
about how she-
apparently Posh Spice was in there as well.
yeah, at the beginning,
Somewhere.
and of course, the best cameo in the whole movie, David
Really
Bowie.
soppy. Yeah, it's
Like
true.
having
yeah.
running the walk off,
Really
like
terrible.
when I first watched it, that was probably the bit I least expected was him showing up. I was like, oh fuck yeah!
It did make me think, like, bloody hell, that guy looks like David Bowie.
Yeah.
Was it the bit where the screen paused and it said David Bowie?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really spelled it out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I-
Proud of nabbing that one.
When I was trying to remember this film, and I remembered that there was a David Bowie in it, and I couldn't remember if it was actually David Bowie or Tilda Swinton dressed as David Bowie as a joke. And genuinely, until I rewatched it like yesterday, I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
actually David Bowie.
Wait, has Tilda Swinton done that before?
Yeah, I think Tilda Swinton's done David Bowie before.
It
She
makes
looks enough
sense.
like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never noticed that. That's freaky.
Yeah. No, they look identical.
I think it was Tilda Swinton. She wanted to be buried in like a glass box and not actually be buried, like just have her remains in a sealed glass box or something.
Sure.
Oh, she just
Just
had her
alright.
hair cut like him in tribute.
That's
right.
fair. But she looks enough like him. She
Yeah.
could. But that's why I couldn't remember if it was actually him. Because it's insane that he's in it. Because a lot of the cameos in this, they aren't like super famous when
Yeah.
this came out.
This is
Yeah.
so I've just sent you an image. That's Tilda Swinton dressed as David Bowie with David Bowie dressed as Tilda Swinton.
I need to
Oh
look at
wow!
Podcast to
shit,
go
yeah,
away.
right.
we will
Oh, wow.
post this picture when
Yeah.
we post
That's
this
good
episode.
That's
a
fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, back to
Back to
Yeah.
so what are
reason
some,
we're
some
all
of the
here
jokes
today.
that you guys the ones that I really like? I think one of my favorites is when Mugaty's trying to get him on side, but because Zoolander has this idea of opening the Derek Zoolander Center for people who can't read good. And so when Mugaty like shows him the model, he's like, "What is this? A center for ants?"
that's something that I've seen so many
Yeah.
clips of. So I like that has really stayed with me.
Yeah.
Like between I've seen that clip and it's been in I've like remembered that scene way more than anything else in this film. Because I think it's sort of used as sort of like a meme as well. So if there's like
Yeah.
something like a small model, people are like, "What is this? A
Yeah.
public garden for ants?"
Needs to be at least 3
Okay.
times bigger
Yeah.
than this. I think that was my
That made me
entire
laugh.
my
Yeah,
entire
that
really-
mindset during the movie Ant-Man was that quote.
But yeah, I also like that they didn't. I don't know. I just really like this movie because they don't overplay the jokes like that. 'Cause that's a great joke. That's an all-time
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
But I feel like if
They
they
do it
very
once
easily could
and
have
then
been
they
like,
move on.
Derek, it's just a model. It's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah.
But they just kind of go, oh, okay. And it's just good. It's just so good. It's
I-
funny. I laughed out loud. I don't laugh out loud very often
My
while watching
favourite
stuff. I was
line
by
was-
myself.
My favorite line was, "You're more dead to me than your dead mother."
Yeah.
That
it's
really
very
tickled
dramatic.
me.
Mm. And then that the other one of my other favorite ones is the just after that when there's an ad on TV where Derek Zoolander is a mermaid or a merman,
Merman.
and the and his dad is like disappointed in him. And he's like, "Oh, at least he didn't get to see you dressed up as a mermaid." And he goes, "Merman, merman." That's funny.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, no, it is.
The advert is just him, like, I think it's moisture is
It's
the
the-
essence
yeah.
of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty.
Yeah,
Like,
which
what?
is true. Think about it.
I'm a big fan that his entire family have the same hair.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
In like cheap wigs as well. It's great.
I
Yeah.
like that one of his brothers is Vince Vaughn, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no line.
And there was the other brother, I have no idea who that was.
Is it? I only realized
Isn't
that
it the
this
guy-
watch is. Yeah, is it the guy from 30 Rock that has the glasses and the hat that changes all the time? You know that guy with the sideburns. I can't remember the
It's not
actor's
so.
name.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
it
character's
is.
name.
Yeah,
Oh,
Judah Friedlander.
Yes.
Yeah, I recognised him as Scrappy Zoolander.
I feel like as a group, we're not the target audience for this film because it is a lot of very American people in it. And I feel like almost every person is a cameo, and we just don't know
Just
half
not
of them.
Yeah, like there's so many that it's just chock full of big names, but not just big names in like Hollywood, but then big names in like other bits that we just do not
no clue.
get. Or like
well,
it's taken me like 25, well, another like 10 years of existing and taking in pop culture to actually get to know some of these ones.
Yeah, I was going to
that
say
were
the exact same thing. Yeah, we would be the target audience if like we were watching this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's like, because and also we're not American. So like, we didn't have a clue, didn't have a chance.
No.
I did like David Duchovny as like the ex-hand model, and he's got his hand in a case permanently. The bit where he like explains everything because Zoolander's like, why male models, and he goes through this whole monologue. Apparently, like Ben Stiller genuinely forgot his next line, so just said,
"Oh, really?"
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, that was ad-lib.
Yeah, like that was just an ad-lib. Was him? He just said that, and so David Duchovny went along with it. Like
that's so good. They're so talented.
Yeah, that is pure comedy at that point, isn't it? Like that's.
Throughout this film, I do appreciate the amount of just staring people do at Zoolander.
Yeah,
just like he says something stupid and everyone intelligent around him just sort of pauses.
Like when I think the best bit of that is when he's driving with the journalist and he's like, I'm not an ambi turner, I can't turn left, and she just can't say it. Like, like, I'm sure lots of people can't turn left.
It's sort of you're realizing that you're accidentally falling to his level. The more you stay around him, it's kind of making you feel dumber.
There is no reason she should have fell for Zoolander.
No.
Well, I mean, he is supposed to be apart from
really,
he's the hottest
really
man in the
looking.
world. He's really, really good looking.
But he's so irritating to be around.
What's his accent?
No, his accent. He's just American, isn't he?
Because it's a weird American accent, isn't it?
Is
it's
it
weird,
meant to be New Jersey? I also couldn't tell if I'm guessing it's a joke when it says that about him going home and it says Southern mining country, New Jersey, and I'm like,
I thought the same thing. I looked it up, and it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Because I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, do they mine in New Jersey? Because I always imagine like The Sopranos and stuff when I think about New Jersey. I'm like, is that mining country? Apparently, it is.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Wait, now I'm doubting myself.
We found it.
So his voice is it? Because I thought he sounded Dutch or like something Belgian.
It sounds like someone trained to speak properly.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it because you get a lot of that with like models and actors. They're like retrained in how to talk with an accent. If they have a thick accent, if they come from somewhere, they have to like learn to not talk like that, which is weird in itself. Like let people
kind of makes sense.
Let people talk how they talk. But it sounds like someone that got halfway through that and stopped.
I found I don't know, I had the same issue with someone. I think it was Orange is the New Black. I was trying to sometimes I just can't wrap my head around these like American accents. Like I can sort of get the Midwestern or whatever and the very generic American accent, but as soon as it starts deviating, I'm like, are they foreign? Where are they? No, I can understand it. It just doesn't sound like American.
Oh, you can't place where it's from.
So I can't place it at all. So I was thinking is he, because obviously he lived with Mikus, who was playing generic Scandinavian.
But he wasn't even that Scandinavian. He it was a very light Scandinavian accent, I feel.
Well, I feel like if they went too hard, a lot of the audience may have just not understood.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's not an easy accent to understand when it's thick.
I feel like
what would you say that actor was? What was his name?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, what's he in? You guys all knew
True Blood.
He's
the real hottie in that, and he's been in a few other things.
No, admittedly,
he's
unbelievably attractive.
Yeah, he's the guy that I'm like, well, he could be America's hottest man. He was very good looking.
Tarzan?
He's the brother of Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. And his dad is Stellan Skarsgård, who's in Thor 2 and Thor 1.
Yeah, there's like 8 Skarsgård's kids, and they're all actors and actresses.
No shit.
Yeah, they all do the same thing, and like 2 of them got really famous.
Okay, this is a bit weird. He actually is in Zoolander 2 as a different character.
Great.
Really?
I wouldn't expect it. Zoolander 2 could have David Bowie in it as a different character. Zoolander 2 could have Tilda Swinton as David Bowie. And you wouldn't care.
Yeah. So, wait, I can't remember the plot of Zoolander 2 at all.
I have no idea. Let's do a brief.
Gone. I was
Gonna do a
I was
brief-
thinking
It's called
about,
Magnum, isn't it? And I guess it's because obviously that's his look
That's
that
his
he's
second-
building up to, and
Yeah.
obviously all his looks are exactly the same as Blue Steel. But Magnum has the power to like stop a spinning blade.
Stops ninja
Yeah.
stars.
Ninja
Yeah.
Star,
Magic.
yeah,
There's
which is
magic at
impressive
the
actually.
end.
I was like, good for him. Like he good looking to the shit out of that ninja star.
Apparently,
I did like
the-
that. How just
yeah.
because like a fairly naturalistic movie. The whole time, then he just becomes magic at the very end.
Yeah,
Which
the
is-
suspension of disbelief was pretty. It's already.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so Ben Stiller is somehow the most attractive person in America. Already, you're like, is he? Okay, but fine, I'll
When-
go with
when-
that.
Alexander Skarsgård is also in America.
Yeah, and then Owen Wilson is also very attractive, but we've
That's
covered
true
that.
though. That's true.
And then the what's his name, Hansel. So Owen Wilson's character manages to take his pants off, or his boxers, the Y fronts
Oh,
even
yeah.
off without taking his trousers off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that-
but
I
that's
don't-
different too.
Yeah.
That's on the same level as stopping a ninja star with your face.
Yeah, it does,
magic.
and I guess like the brain control thing. I mean, they sort of explain that it has to be someone real dumb
Yeah.
to
be, like,
for the brain
hypnotized and
thing to
stuff.
work, and I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I've looked up the plot of Zoolander 2. Apparently, after being retired for several years, Zoolander and Hansel are recruited because a bunch of celebrities are being assassinated and they have to work out who's doing it. But apparently the film
right.
starts with Matilda, who's the person that he falls in love with. So apparently 2 days
Matilda.
2 days after the ending of this movie, the Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good collapses, killing her, injures Hansel, and he loses custody of his son.
Oh my god.
So
That's
they didn't get
fucked
the
up.
actress back.
No.
in it, then. Like they couldn't get her back. So they
Yeah, it sounds like the writers were pretty bitter about that. As well.
Yeah.
I did really like that they shortened Matilda to Matil as
Yeah.
well.
That is good.
And then they have like an orgy scene, which is very strange.
Yeah, the tea
a great
orgy.
scene.
Yeah, I like
They
that
got high
they.
on mushrooms or something, I assume, and they all have
Yeah,
an orgy.
tea.
From
Yeah,
tea.
it took me until maybe the last time I watched that to get that, because I'm just not a drugs guy. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, the tea is a it's not
It's
tea.
not
Kinda
really
hope-
tea.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Is it like the sandwiches they eat in How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Do they have? Well, I don't think I've seen How I Met Your Mother. Well, I mean, I haven't. I didn't.
No.
But
It's not
what,
worth
Yeah,
do
when-
they-
It's not great.
When they're in
No,
college,
I
they
didn't- I
have
didn't think so.
Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, instead
So
of
it-
instead of smoking weed because he's telling his kids these stories,
Oh, I
he
see.
just
Right,
says,
so
"Oh yeah, they were
yeah.
eating really fat sandwiches."
Yeah, right.
That's the level of joke of that show.
Yeah.
Don't need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I reckon.
Yeah, it's not worth it considering how shit the ending was.
Yeah. Wait, what was the ending? Let's spoil it. What was it?
His mum's the
mum
he
was-
met his mother earlier on in the series, and then turns out she's dead, and he wants to marry their aunt.
Not their actual aunt.
Okay.
Not their
They
actual aunt.
call her aunt. So the girl that he's been lusting over the whole time,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Robin.
Hello, you
Is
just
it-
asked us to explain the ending to a show that you haven't seen that has like 7 seasons. Like,
Yeah, just wrap it up. Give me like
Yeah.
a neat little
Yeah.
10-second ending.
So he meets their mother
I
after
don't know
explaining
I
it.
don't know any of the
yeah.
middle or the beginning, but
He
just,
tells
you
the
know.
whole
Or
story
tell
to
the
his kids,
characters.
and then he's like, "Oh yeah, your mum's dead," but they probably know that already. And then they're
Yeah.
like, "But we can tell you're actually in love with Robin. You should go for her." Which would have been a better ending if it ended when they first planned it and it didn't keep getting continued, and
Right,
they didn't
yeah.
have to keep making
Essentially-
up stories that meant that made less sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially they did 7+ seasons of character development and then just ignored it all for
Yeah,
the last episode.
That's fun.
Because it
Kind
was
of Game of Thrones.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
but condensed into one
literally.
episode and not one
condensed.
season.
If
Yeah.
that final season of Game of Thrones was across, say, another maybe 3 seasons, it might have been okay. Which is also how I
Yeah.
feel about the final episode of How I Met Your Mother. If that was a whole season and it explained why the fuck everything happened,
No,
maybe.
they didn't have time.
Yeah.
What a tangent!
So Zoolander, a bizarre film from that era of films where a lot of shit came out. Not saying Zoolander shit, but they did just make films at this point.
Those like Meet the Fockers films.
As opposed to now, where they do not make films.
No, they look at how many films came out in the two. They pumped films out, and none of them were connected to each other, and they just happened.
Well, it was that sweet
Right.
spot where like DVDs and videos were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So people
Yeah,
people
right, to
went to
pump
the
'em
cinema
out.
a lot because cinemas were actually kind of cheaper.
Cheaper. Yeah, they weren't. You didn't need a mortgage.
Remember the good old days of the £2.50 seats at the
Yes.
the Carlton? There were so many films that were just about worth £2.50.
I think the only one I saw that wasn't was Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was
I
not
remember
worth
refusing to
£2.50.
watch that, and I was like, I don't think it's worth £2.50.
No.
You came out and were like, yeah, it was
No.
not.
Can't tell you how much that is in Australian because
I
do
think
not know
it's
the
like
exchange rate.
It's about $5.
Probably like,
Yeah.
probably like $70. Yeah, I think.
Oh, how is that economy going right now?
Yeah.
Don't worry, because the pound is also sinking. So
Oh, good.
you know, it's
Yeah.
we're sort of all
We're all
yeah,
fucked. It's fine.
Yeah.
smiling. Speaking on, hey, I love that politics.
It happens every now and then. You can't. But they did just pump movies out at this point, and so many of them failed, and that is what we end up talking about on here. Because
Yeah, Zoolander didn't fail though, did it?
No,
It was
it didn't.
successful.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't have been a Zoolander 2 without if it had totally bombed.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably right.
I mean, there's a
Although-
reason there wasn't a Zoolander 3.
The sequel was like Zoolander 2 was 15 years later. It was more of
Yeah, I was
a.
gonna say
It was
quite some
because
time.
bad.
Well,
it was
same as Anchorman.
yeah, because I think it's because of Anchorman 2 coming out and 10 years later. I think Anchorman 2 was, and they went, "Oh, we should try doing that for more comedy movies."
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
immediately
yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah, and then they sort of stopped doing that, which was nice.
Yeah,
Stop
I'm
making
glad.
sequels to things that don't
Yeah.
need sequels.
I'm trying to now think of other really old comedy movies that would be awful if they just suddenly had a sequel.
American Pie.
That's got plenty
They
of
had
them.
like 8 sequels.
They never stopped.
They just
still
didn't
make
stop.
them. I think they still make them.
They did the opposite.
They're just not called American Pie anymore. They're just called something else. But one thing we can say about this film, it didn't meet the criteria of the show of ending anyone's career or destroying a company.
That's true. I think it was yeah.
That
Which
happened.
is huge because there were so many people in it. I mean, really,
Yeah.
how many films have you done where one of the characters in it became the president of the United States? Huh?
To be fair, we haven't done anything else with.
No,
where
we've
Donald
not
Trump is
watched.
Batman.
I think the only other film I can think of with him in is Home Alone. So
Yeah. Well, wasn't Ronald Reagan an actor too? You could watch some old Reagan films.
What's Ronald Reagan
yeah,
doing?
No,
those
no
films
guest
that
has
we love
actually
from
come
our
and-
childhood.
Yeah. I think we've had almost exclusively Australian and guests as well,
Yeah.
and British guests. So yeah, someone being like, "Yeah, let's watch."
Such a Ronald
Would
Reagan.
be like, "Sure."
I don't
You
even
might
know
have to
what-
provide a bit of context.
No,
I
I
don't
would.
think no one Ronald Reagan movie.
I have
No,
no
again,
idea.
wouldn't have been the weirdest film a guest has picked.
What's the weirdest one you've done, you think?
From like, why did you watch this as a kid? Was
Hmm.
Loch Ness?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Sean Carney.
Sean?
Because
Yeah,
he's obsessed with Loch Ness.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
He came on and was like, "Are we doing Loch Ness?" And it was kind of like, "Why? What? This isn't like a kids' film.
What is it?
It's,
It's
a
about
drama."
it's a drama about a scientist
family drama.
discovering the Loch Ness
It's
monster,
a-
but also falling in love with a Scottish lady.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But it
Uh,
takes itself seriously. It's not like, oh, how ridiculous is this? We found the Loch
Not
Ness
really.
monster.
It's not
Yeah,
a comedy.
not
It's
a
got like
comedy.
funny bits. It's got like humor in it, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
That's
it's,
wild.
it's like a relationship.
and he loves
drama.
that film.
Yeah,
You
he
go.
would constantly.
That was what was baffling. It wasn't like, oh, I have fond memories of this, and we're like, oh, okay. And then he's like, yeah, it's a bit weird. It was like, no, this is the best film
Like,
ever.
he'd die for that film, as we
Good
learned.
off- good for him.
Yeah, no,
no,
it's
fair.
fine.
Like
It's-
we
it's-
came to the conclusion that when someone says they are literally the biggest fan of something, he actually is. Like-
He might be.
Yeah. I reckon I would be top 20 people on Earth as far as watching this movie, amount of times seeing this movie.
Yeah.
I think. Because, I mean, how many people have seen it more than 3 times? No.
No,
It's a very
that's fair.
small-
Yeah, I
very small.
definitely-
There's
I
not many people to
definitely.
beat.
Yeah, I'm on
Very
2 and
fair.
I'm satisfied. I've
Yeah.
reached my
Happy
Zoolander
to
limit, I
never watch
think.
it again.
I'm on
I-
2 for this year. I actually watched it back in about May or so, just because.
Oh, yeah.
And then I watched it again last night just for the move, just for this. I was like, I watched it recently enough, but I'll watch it again. I'm cool with
I
that.
would have
Yeah.
never sought this film out. Like, even if it was on TV, I wouldn't have bothered watching it.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. Like, I enjoyed it a lot more this time when I was actually, a little bit more open-minded and able to realize that my choice in film doesn't define me, and thus I need to make all these decisions before I even view it.
Yeah.
It's growth,
exactly.
personal growth.
Based on
It's
Zoolander.
also hard to, at least in Australia, I don't know about for you guys, but it's like not on any of the streaming services in Australia. I didn't have it on DVD because I don't own any DVDs. Although I did own it on DVD and basically wore it out. Yeah, I had to rent it off iTunes, which I've never done before because it'd be $5.
Yeah, I had to rent it for £3.50 on Prime.
Yeah, right. So it wasn't on Prime for us, or at least not that I could find.
The annoying thing is, it was on Netflix, and that's how I watched it last time I saw it. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
they
don't
took
worry
it off,
guys,
like,
it's
a couple
on
of weeks
Netflix.
ago.
And then we're like,
Oh,
wait, no,
really?
it's not.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not mad about the fact that I had to rent it because I did have a good time watching it.
Yeah.
There's films where I've had to pay like fork out the £3.50, or if it's an old film, £2.50, because like you know, you have to pay that HD premium. And that some of them I've been like, I would have rather have bought myself a sandwich or some cookies or a mince pie or something.
Get a meal deal. Yeah.
So how old were you when you were like really into this film?
Oh God, like
because we know you're
10?
eternally 19, so
yeah, of course. But I think I was around 10-ish, 10 to 12. I think was the main Zoolander years.
10 feels maybe too young to watch this film.
No,
I mean, there's nothing that offensive in it. The's no, I mean, apart from the sex scene, which I think you're right, just goes over your head when you're that age.
Yeah, it's just like a drug-fueled sex scene. I also,
you know, the drug orgy.
I genuinely thought when I was a kid, I'm like, oh, they're just drinking tea, and I think I just thought they were dancing. I didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah, they're just having adult fun that people just won't explain
just
to you.
Hanging out with the tea, they're relaxing.
Yeah.
I also realized for the first time in this watch, and that's big, but the detail is that room that they're drinking the tea in is just full of dirt, and it's an indoor room just full of dirt. And then they mentioned the soil room was crazy. Dirt was flying everywhere. I'm like, how have I never noticed they're sitting in a room piled with dirt?
I did
That's
actually.
So funny.
I did love the bit where, because it's after that bit that Zoolander's like, yeah, I think I'm falling in love with Matilda, and he's like, it was that time when she was sandwiched between the Scandinavian dwarfs and this other guy that I thought she's the one. And I was like,
that's a very. I mean, that is. That did tickle me because obviously it's so obscene, but only if you are able to understand sexual references. Whereas if you're a kid, they're like, well, he was sat, when she was sat between those two little people. We do have the issue again, which is a very 2000s thing of little people just being used as props. It's come up in so many films at this point from that era. They're not constructed for the plot; they're just kind of there.
Yeah. I was nervous as well when I first started. They're talking about the Malaysian Prime Minister. I'm like, how racist is this going to be? I remember it being racist, but it was from 2001. There's a good chance it'll be very racist, and it was only a little bit racist.
It's only a little bit racist, but it is very anti-Malaysia to the point where it was banned in Malaysia.
I don't think it's anti-Malaysia, is it? I mean, the whole.
I mean,
plot
it's
of the
kind
film
of like
is
you're using your kids as child labor, which I guess maybe they are. But
is it
rude to say so?
I don't know, but my Malaysian politics from 20 years ago is a bit rusty. But
what?
The prime, but the character of the prime minister is trying to stop child labor, and the villain is pro child labor. So I don't think it was saying that Malaysia is pro. It was the opposite, really.
But it is saying that it is going on.
Or was, but. Isn't it, or wasn't it?
Well, that's the kind of awkward bit, and that's probably why it was.
I don't think it's anti.
I mean, during the brainwashing video, Mugatu is literally saying about child labor all over the world as well.
Yeah,
it's just like,
we'll have to outsource it to Singapore and India, and I'm like, but they also then it was banned in Singapore as well for that comment. But then they unbanned it a bit later.
It was banned in Malaysia. And in a lot of Asian countries, it wasn't Malaysia. It was in the film. It was Micronesia. They changed the name of it, which feels very.
I feel like it's weird, but at the same time, that makes more sense. And it seems a bit strange that they did just target Malaysia. It's a bit like when you start thinking. So, what was the decision process for being like, right? Okay, we're going to have it as a country with child labor. I'm going to pick Malaysia. It's a bit out of the blue. And it seems a bit like they're picking on Malaysia because it's a global problem.
No, I think I know why.
Oh, okay.
It's probably because the main country that you'd sort of target that at would be China.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
but also the film companies do not like to question China because it's one of the biggest markets.
Yeah.
It's like the second biggest market behind the US, so they never really point at it. But,
Yeah, and in the world of the film as well, it's probably not likely that they'll be able to get the president of China to sit down at the end of a runway with only two guards and
for some reason, like when I first watched this, like however many years ago, I would just sort of skipped over the plot of that whole child labor thing for some reason. I don't know how, but in my head, it wasn't the Malaysian Prime Minister; it was the Dalai Lama. And I don't know, like, I have no idea why.
I really like the idea of him going to a fashion show. Yeah. That's brilliant.
It's probably the robes, right? You're probably getting the robes.
Yeah, maybe. But in my head, I was like, yeah, when Zoolander tries to assassinate the Dalai Lama for some reason.
Yeah, not exposed to enough Asian culture that you can distinguish between different heads of state.
Do you reckon they could have got the Dalai Lama? Maybe. Do you reckon that, like, if they asked,
as a cameo?
Yeah,
he's probably in the second one.
Or maybe they sent out loads of invites and Malaysia was the only one that got back to them.
You think it was the real Malaysian Prime Minister?
It wasn't.
What a get!
So I guess, like, if you had to rate this out of 10, how many Derek Zoolander's different looks would you give this?
I would go nostalgically. I got to give it like a 10, but actually probably like an 8.
That's not that big of a difference.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's a very big
I get
difference.
that. Yeah,
an 8 to a 10. A 10's like the perfect film.
Yeah,
and I understand that it isn't, but probably like a 7.5 then, I guess.
Yeah, like the nostalgia really does help, because for me it'd probably be like 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
7. Yeah, definitely a 7. Just like I do have a lot of nostalgia for it. I really enjoy the film. Like, I still laugh at all the jokes. Like, some comedy films you rewatch and there's some bits where you're like, it's just not funny anymore. But with this, I just still had a great time. So
great. What about you guys? What do you reckon?
I'd say like 5.5.
Brutal.
5.5 to 6.
So brutal, dude.
Male model hands in glass containers. I enjoyed the comedy, but it's also Ben Stiller.
Yeah. Do you also, because you don't like Will Ferrell, you don't like Ben Stiller? How do you feel about Owen Wilson? I feel like Owen Wilson is often
fine with Owen Wilson.
That's
He's
wild. I mean,
very rarely in films that I watch, so I haven't built up an anger for him.
Sure, that might be it.
But no, I've got no problem with. I don't know why I don't like Ben. I can't be the only person where I'm like, these actors I cannot stand, and I can't tell you why. That has to be like, other people have to have actors like that.
I don't think I do. I don't think I have an actor that I'm like, oh, yuck, this person, yeah.
Okay, don't make me sound like that.
No, I mean...
That's exactly how you sound. That's your voice.
Then still a yucky. Oh. I really don't like... mine's Tom Cruise, which I'm always scared to bring up because I get shot down immediately. But I'm like, I'll watch films that he's in, but I'll be sat there thinking... Oh God, I wish someone else had been playing this character. Apart from Edge of Tomorrow, where he gets murdered like 5,000 times. I really like that film. Yeah. But I also have a big not hotspot. What's it called?
Soft spot.
Soft spot. A big soft spot for Emily Blunt. So that film was pretty perfect.
Oh
for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he like in Mission Impossible and all the other ones, I'm like, I don't. It could have been anyone else.
Him in what's that movie? The Future Crimes one. What's that called? Minority Report.
Oh, I've only seen that. Oh God, I think I've seen that on TV like ages ago. I've not properly watched
TV
it. Yeah, I've not seen it enough to feel like I can pass judgment. But I assume I'd really like the film and hate the fact that it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, who would you replace Tom Cruise with? You have to replace Tom Cruise with one actor for every movie he's ever been in. Who do you choose?
Oh gosh,
Emily Blunt.
No, perfect. Emily, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone. I really don't
Anyone?
mind.
Literally anyone.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
I feel like Owen Wilson, it's probably too late in his career now, but really I can see him pivoting to action comedy guy.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed that it didn't happen.
He was in like Shanghai Nights and Shanghai. That was a bit action because it was like martial arts.
Maybe he did do
it. Gonna get around to them eventually. Yeah.
The long list of Jackie Chan films that we need to watch.
Oh yeah, like the Tuxedo and stuff.
Yeah.
The Medallion.
Tuxedo's good.
My favorite.
My
favorite era of Jackie Chan movie is the movies where he's a guy who gets a thing that makes him know martial arts. He's like third wave Jackie Chan movies. He's just a normal bloke.
Yeah. He makes shoes or something, and then all of a sudden, I know martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like Owen Wilson mostly does like surfer dude stuff.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
was
the look.
very surprised by his role in Loki. Like, when I first watched the trailer, I finished the trailer and went, "Oh fuck, that's Owen Wilson." Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I've not watched Loki
didn't
yet.
realize it was him at all. It's nothing like him, but he's great.
Has he
in
had a
it.
nose job?
No, but he's got like really short hair. He's got he just doesn't look like how I imagine Owen Wilson looking.
He's a man in a suit.
Yeah, which to be honest is Hansel. Whenever I think of Owen Wilson, I'm like, yeah, Hansel
No,
from
Hansel is
Zoolander.
just Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah, he has got
down.
really short.
Yeah, it's a
He
wig.
looks totally
but,
different.
yeah.
He looks really. Yeah, he looks old now. No offense, Owen Wilson.
Look old because he is old, I guess.
if he hadn't.
No,
got
what is
that
he now?
schnoz.
50 something?
108. I'm gonna go with
Wow, he
108.
looks great for 108.
He really does. Like,
That's crazy.
He's actually immortal. He's
It's-
one of them.
like the crazy
Wow,
thing is
wow.
realizing that he was 88 when he did Zoolander.
Yeah, that young male model on
Yeah.
the scene.
Yeah.
So, Helena, what do you think out of 10? Or did
He's
we ask
53.
you? I don't remember.
53
out of 10. Wow.
That's a good rating.
Yeah, no, I actually changed. I've gone full 180. Love this film. Oh God, I'm gonna give this 6 cameos of future prime ministers or presidents out of 10. It's
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I've got no desire to see it again. Some
I'd
of the
watch it
jokes,
again now if I could.
yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to go off and watch my favorite film again.
I did that with mine. So as soon as we finished recording, I was like, I'm gonna watch it again. So,
What was your guys's?
I have Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh yeah,
I
okay.
went and rewatched, and then we talked about it, and then I watched it again straight
Yeah,
after.
get amped up about Kung
Yeah.
Fu Hustle.
That
Oh,
episode's
fucking
not out
amazing.
until like January.
Yeah, no, that has been really out for a while.
Little little
Amazing film.
teaser
Yeah.
for an upcoming episode. Yeah, mine's the Black Cauldron, and I could watch that film all day and have done
I've even
before.
heard of the Black Cauldron.
Yeah, don't
No
worry,
one
no
has.
one
It's
has.
fine.
Don't worry,
It's
Disney
a-
made sure of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They buried it.
Yeah, they buried it.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
no, they
They-
properly buried it.
Edited half of it out and then buried it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like this film, I found a lot of the humor's not really my kind of. It's just not my bag, which is fine. But it's good enough that I'm not there like this is shit and I don't like it at all. I'm just there like this isn't ticking the right boxes for me. But yeah, maybe I'm
Wrong.
just fussy.
Wrong.
Yeah, no, fair
You're
enough.
wrong.
I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
That's better than
Yeah,
what people
okay.
gave Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Not that I'm bitter.
No.
I haven't seen Black Cauldron, but I hate that movie, and I give it a 1 out of 10, and it sucks.
No,
That's
it's very fair.
Well, before Helena storms off, I
Yeah.
have been Dan.
I have been Michael.
I've been Helena.
Oh, and I've been Hayden.
Hayden, where can people find you?
You can listen to my podcast, Shut Up a Second. It's on the Sans Pants Radio Network. What else do I have? Oh, I stream on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/Hayden H. That's
What?
4 Hayden,
Yeah.
it's a 1 H. I've been doing the New York Times crossword on a Sunday morning for the UK, Sunday evening for Australia. I think it's like the middle of the night for America. And
the
it's
best
very
time
fun.
to
It's
do a
nice.
crossword?
Yeah, it's good. And that's about it, I think.
Are you getting better at crosswords now?
Oh yeah, I'm still terrible, but I'm getting better.
I
Every
can't-
crossword has the word asp in it. Every single one. They're always just like, "What's a kind of viper?" You go, "Oh, asp." There you go. So many
I
asps.
can't imagine the pressure of doing a crossword on live streaming in front of people. It sounds
Well,
like a lot
because-
of pressure.
People also like suggest answers, so I'm not just doing it all by myself. But I do.
You're not
There
speed
are
running it.
no,
like chat
but
just-
there
yeah.
are many times where I'll go to spell a word and just really fuck it up.
Yeah,
Just
no,
get-
Oh yeah.
it sounds like an advanced version of playing a puzzle game in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand this. Leave me alone.
Sitting there with the
Mm.
crossword like name of someone who speaks at a funeral. Ah yes, you Googleize that.
You Googleize another one.
Well, you can find this podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord and all that sort of thing as well.
Please leave us a rating and a review on wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us out.
Let us know what you think of Zoolander. And if you remember the plot of Zoolander 2.
Let us know specifically what you think of Zoolander 2, because we're never going to talk about it.
I keep trying to take a sip out of my microphone stand because my brain's like, that's handle shaped. Yeah, I think today might be a 2 coffee day.